runner in the game with these raps. I just get the puck, check the fob, take them out, secure the bag. Yeah, midichlorians course through the veins. And I don't know what that means, they sure keep it vague. Wanna stop me, it's obvious you're insane. If you thinking that you ever gon' hit me with stormtrooper aim. Yeah, they calling me Death Star, I'm about to blow up. I may be cute, but I'm also deadly, that's Baby Yoda. I'm in the booth, give me time to reshoot. And I'ma show you why they're scared of me like Vader at the end of Rogue One. Ay, there ain't a beat I think I couldn't rip through. It's like I powered this microphone up with kyber crystals. Firing missiles out the Falcon in this battle. And I'm about to take control to this universe, call me Jon Favreau. Yeah, loving the light, but I'm really been feeling the dark entice me. I might go psycho, Kylo Palpatine, Dark Fallen Snoke. I'm grabbing the mic and thinking they got the skill. Step up and try me, I don't gotta be a fucking Jedi to force a show. Yeah, I think I found the droids you're looking for. We'll be at Comic-Con with all my people getting geeks. I'm like the Kevin Smith of rap, getting paid to tour. Talk about the shit I love and do it independently. So love the anime, Marvel, your favorite shows in DC. Anything to make you feel an escape from the stress. Do your thing, don't be afraid to be yourself, believe me. They can never hurt you with the best Star armor fit. Yeah, I've been paying all these dues. Amateurs, you couldn't last a day up in my shoes. Still there's people who've been praying that I lose. But like Mando's helmet, I will not be removed, no. I'm going Cara Dune, locked and loaded. Training like I'm Luke, always stay devoted, yeah. Waiting for the Mandalorian Season 2 to drop. Until then, I've spoken.
This is the way. I have spoken. This is the way.
Hey, welcome to an episode of Poptography. We haven't done a live stream here on the channel in a while, so very, very excited. I know I have a very special guest waiting, and you probably are very familiar with him. He's none other than my other co-host from the Star Wars Popcast, and his name is Christopher from Seriously Star Wars. Let's bring him on.
Hey, Patrick.
Hey, Chris.
How you doing, man?
Good. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good.
Nice. So, how excited are you for Andor?
I'm excited, man. Like there's a lot of talk about different characters that might show up, and the trailer and the behind the scenes like first look video that they posted the other day, they both look awesome. So
Yeah. I agree. That's why I wanted to kind of do something a little bit getting excited because as you might have seen, I have recently posted on like Instagram and social media that I actually have a whole Andor series dropping. So what I'm going to start out was with some earlier images that we had shot with the early Andor pops and kind of work going from that into the new body of work, the new Andor series of images, which I'm very excited to have shot and get to highlight here. So what I'm going to be doing is having a new image drop each week up into the premieres of season 2. So pretty excited for that. Pretty excited for that.
Yeah, that's cool.
So one of the things I wanted to talk to you about and have you on tonight, Christopher, was more just to chat about Andor pops, Andor speculation on the show. We can even pull up the trailer if we want a little bit later, maybe towards the end. But I thought it'd be kind of cool to kind of also touch base on some of the Rogue One pops that we had, because those are characters that we might possibly see still. So
yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, so where should we start? Should we start talking about more working our way to the back end of the story of Rogue One and then back to where we are now? Where do you think we should start, Chris?
Why don't we go like in release order of the Funko Pops, because we haven't gotten Andor season 2 yet. So start with Rogue One and then go Andor and then Andor season 2.
All right.
Let's do that.
So we have a lot of different pops from that. So, and what's cool is a little unknown fact. So what really got me in the pops is I end up getting a few of the Rogue One Funko Pops.
Nice.
I think I went to
so those were your first ones, eh? Rogue One Pops were the first ones, eh?
Yeah. And I think from that, I kind of thought they were kind of neat, but I wasn't sure if I was going to go full blown. And then I got the Bounty collection as a gift from my mom. My mom and dad got it for me as I think a Christmas gift or something like that. So once I started receiving that, and I got the Han on the Tauntaun, dude, I was gone. I was hook, line, and sinker. Get the
Yeah.
net, get the net, fish them in. I was done. So we'll pull out some of, so I'll start pulling out some of the pops from that first wave here.
Yeah, so that would have been like 2016 you started collecting them.
Yeah, that's what I got into it kind of obviously late because I didn't have any blue box or anything when I started,
Right.
but Cassian Andor was one of my first ones, and this one in particular, with the coat, the blue coat that he had on in Jeddah and
Yeah.
I always thought this was a great pop itself. Had a lot of great detail. I've got
See,
some dust.
one thing I thought they would have had the brown coat Andor as a common, but this was a common, and then they did the brown coat as a Target exclusive.
It's funny you mention that because when I picked up that AT-AT to do my kind of Empire kind of diorama with my pops,
Yeah.
I ended up picking that guy up for $5.
Nice. Yeah. Can't
So I
go
do
wrong
have
with
this
that one.
one. Love
Yeah.
this Andor. I might have to work this guy onto the set because this guy is he's pretty sharp. I like that. I like that
Right.
look. Now, the next one I kind of had in my collection, obviously, if you have Cassian, you can't not have your Jyn Erso.
Yeah. And there's quite a few Jyn Ersos too.
Yes, there are. So we had this one, I think was a common. And then we also had, where do I have it? Oh, I have it over here. We also had the young Jyn Erso.
Right. Yeah.
And I have her on my display where I actually have that wooden stormtrooper doll.
Yeah.
So I have her sitting on the base with him on display.
Yeah. And then there's also another Jyn Erso. Do you have the one with the helmet on?
I don't have that one with the black outfit. That was kind of an outtake.
No, well, that one too. I don't have that one.
Oh,
but
yes.
The one with the kind of, she's holding the blaster, like the raincoat, the poncho.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think this was a Smuggler's Bounty. I was going to say this is I think a Smuggler's Bounty exclusive.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, I have that.
I got that so long ago. So
yeah, but great pop. Like I love all that. I wish we got more Rebels just with that. More common,
right.
just
Yeah.
regular Rebels. That would be like kind of like army building, if you will. But I did get the Jyn Erso Power of the Force.
Yeah, and that the Power of the Galaxy one. Yeah, that one's
Power
really
of the
good.
Galaxy. This is what I really like. This is when I think we started to see a change in those sculpts right before we got to Return of the Jedi. We really started seeing a major change in those sculpts.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So another comment. Well, actually, I think this might have been a Walmart exclusive at the time. Was this version of Saw Gerrera?
Yeah, I think that one. Was it a Walmart exclusive?
I think it might have been.
Because the one with the hair is a common.
Was he a No, I think this guy might have been the common.
Oh,
I think he was
a common.
I think Saw Gerrera was always an exclusive because this became a con exclusive.
Yeah, I don't remember. I know one of them was a Walmart exclusive.
I think this guy was Walmart and this guy was a con exclusive. Now, I thought maybe they'd be slightly different, but they're the same exact sculpt.
Yeah, the one with the hair is a con exclusive, the fall convention, and the bald one's a Walmart.
Yeah, but I really, really love. I personally like this guy the best. I mean, we only get a glimpse of Saw Gerrera in Rogue One. Like this, it's like that flashback when he looks down the hole and pulls Jyn out. That's it.
Right. Yeah.
So, and we've kind of seen him slightly before this, and I think where we're getting at Rogue One is where we're seeing Saw more like what we remember from Rogue One looking like. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So with you can't do those characters without doing, and this was just a regular common,
The K2SO, yeah.
K2SO, and he was one of those first kind of, in my opinion, those skinnier sculpts that came out so well for, especially with the droid. So
Yeah.
good. I really just love that.
And I'm surprised. I'm actually glad he didn't start leaning because the torso and the body are so dainty, right?
Yeah, I always
So.
worried about that. His head is very
Mm.
heavy, and it kind of has slight lean towards it, but I think it's been like that all the whole time. It kind of had a slight little tilt to it. But I ended up picking up, which ended up becoming my favorite of the. Now I know there's 3 of the
Right.
K2SOs. The one I don't have is him with the blaster. That one I don't have, but I do have this one. And this one I believe came with a pin.
Yeah,
And
I
this
think
is when
so.
they did that kind of like the different different planets. Yeah. So this guy came out really cool, and I actually recently got this version on the set. I just love him kind of a little more tattered and beat up. He looks a little more iconic, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So thinking about that kind of planetary thing, we did get another one that happened to be, I think, Jeddah, and got this guy.
Yes, that's one of my favorite ones. Still,
So cool looking, right? Kind of
Right.
like almost sort of like a Wookiee, and all this great detail on the backpack, and what a killer! Look at his blaster; it's like a giant Gatling. I mean, he's
all the sculpting on the fur is great too.
premium. I believe when we saw that special scene, that special look at Andor season 2, I believe we did see this guy in a scene. There's not too many giant white
I think
furry
so.
alien creatures that stand out, and and they're
Well,
like,
and they're part of Saw Gerrera's crew, right? So
yeah,
like, that would make
we
sense.
definitely saw him in a scene, so I think we're gonna get to see him again, and I think there was more planned for him originally, and I don't know if it got cut on the editing floor or they just didn't film it. I thought they filmed it, but there's a lot more that they had planned for seeing that character on screen, especially with all the prosthetics and work they had to do to build that character. I think they wanted to do a little bit more, and it just got cut. But I think we're going to see that probably now in the series. We'll get to see him, which will be cool.
Yeah.
So another
him or her, because I noticed that one has eyelashes.
You know what? It could be her.
Big eyelashes too, right? They're not like So
it could be a female.
Yeah,
of that species. Yeah. Another one from that Rogue One collection that I really enjoyed getting was a con collection, was Bodhi.
Yes, the Bodhi. Yep.
I love.
I can't remember what con it was, but yeah, I do remember that was a con.
I think it was like a San Diego, possibly, because
it might have been
purple and yellow sticker. I think that was on the box.
Right.
But I remember my coworker was laughing because I used to have this on what is the display that I have my retro series on. This is where I started first collecting them. I had them on there, and when I first got him, I was super excited. I tossed the box back then I didn't even think about keeping boxes even for a second. So I tossed it, put it on there, and I was like, "Oh, I'm so pumped!" And he's like, "Why are you so pumped?" I said, "Put it this way: in all of the Star Wars lore, right? At one point, it comes down to this guy saying, "I've got the plans," like from this other guy. I said, "So that guy is one of the key pieces to everything that we know taking place in Star Wars." I said, "So I was hoping they'd make him as a pop because I think we saw him released as a TVC and I think a Black Series." So when I saw him released, I was like, "That's one I got to get." So I was very excited to get him.
It is a great one.
Yeah, he just looks great. I love his goggles and everything. His character is awesome. Then I got Galen Urso, which I always thought this was really neat, seeing this kind of like Imperial kind of science division.
Yeah, that's another good one. That's one I hope we see in Andor season 2 because he'd still be alive and he'd be building the Death Star.
I think
at the
I think we
factory,
can get a
right? So
cameo of him. Do you think
I
we
think
could
so.
see? Do you think we could see Lyra?
Maybe. I mean, I
Right?
because
Could-
they you would think that they would both be on like working on the.
They could be rubbing
'Cause-
elbows at a Mon Mothma party, for all we know.
well,
You know, that
I
was
would
the
think they
credit
would be
card.
working on the Death Star this time, point of the
They
timeline,
are,
right?
but I know
So
like his wife and Jin were supposed to be
yeah,
taken care of
they
by
were
the
on.
Imperials.
Yeah.
So, um, thinking of Imperials, we had
Or actually, no. I guess Lyra. No, Lyra would be dead at this point.
no,
She was
no.
killed. She was killed when Jin was a young
Oh, that's
child. So
right.
she would, yeah.
If we
But
have a
you could,
flashback, we could have a
yeah,
flashback.
maybe. But I think it's more. I think it's more likely that we would see Galen like just
Yeah.
working on the Death Star, right, in the factory there.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Now I
and
think
that
they
one
did
there's two
3.
versions of this one too. Is there two or
There's
three?
I think there's 3 because I have 2 of them. I have this one, and then I have
There's
this
one where he's
one.
holding the blaster straight up and down. I think, right? Yeah, that
Yeah.
one. I don't have that one. I have the other one. Yeah.
I think this one was the one that came in a smuggler's bounty.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably why I don't have
This
it.
one
Then.
I think was a common, and
Yeah.
I can't remember, but someone else, like Hot Topic or somebody, had a chrome version or metallic version. I never got that one. I never picked that one up. I felt having 2 of them was plenty. And
Yeah.
they're both
Yeah.
kind of cool. Now, I did get this guy, and I think there's another one with a different stripe, like a blue stripe. This might have been a Walgreens exclusive. I couldn't find that one. I do have this one, which was one of the Shore Troopers. I thought this is when you're introducing a new trooper, this guy was fire.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that guy.
I have that one? Yeah, I do. I do have the Shore Trooper. And didn't they make another Shore Trooper
They had
as
2.
well?
Yeah, they had 2. I think they had that one. There's one. I think that the one I have, and I think there's another one that has like a light blue stripe. What one do you have?
I have that one with the single red mark on the helmet. So
All right. Next from that series, we're kind of dwindling down on that series, but I got this guy, the little tank driver.
yes.
I thought he was
So
cool.
yeah, that's one that I don't have.
You don't have this guy?
I don't
I
have
thought you
no.
did.
But again, I think a lot of those ones were con exclusives. A lot of the Rogue ones were Rogue One pops were con exclusives, I believe. So
All right, so we've gone through this guy. Oh, we didn't touch on this guy. We know we're seeing this guy. Ta-da!
yeah,
Director Rennick.
So I'm doubtful we'll get another pop. I mean, maybe, but like I don't know how you can do it much differently unless you give him a blaster. But
I mean, he's got a blaster in his hand here,
yeah,
you know. But like you said, if he's aiming it or something, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. But these 2 guys, I don't think we're going to see any cameos from them at all. But I like them.
yeah,
I love this is one of my favorites from that wave was Babe.
yeah.
Look,
Yeah, see that's the thing, like because Tony
so-
Gilroy was talking in a couple articles and saying like they're not just bringing people in because like just for the heck of it, that it's going to make sense if they're there. So, and
Yeah,
I don't
I
think it
think-
would make sense for Baze and Chirrut to show up.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah,
What as close as I think we'll hear is rumblings on Jeddah and how their faction of force wielding and believing or whatever. I think we'll hear how that has been affected by them. Maybe they'll talk, since we're talking about the building the Death Star, maybe, you kind of realize something that you heard from in Clone Wars where there's taking actual kyber crystals from Jeddah,
right.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll get some mention of that. I don't think we're going to focus on that. I agree with you. on
Yeah.
that. I don't think we'll see a I love them, but I don't think it's likely a cameo. You know, do you think we'd get a Jin? I think you're hitting more nail in the head with Galen. I think we probably
Yeah, I think Galen will get.
most likely to see that.
Yeah.
So that was all the Rogue One Funko Pops that I have. And I don't think there's only 2 or 3 I might be missing out of that wave.
How about the Vader with the red smoke around it? That's technically Rogue One at the end of the movie.
I have that. I do
Yeah.
have that. This bad man pajama.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, and there's a couple Vaders. I mean, there's a lot of Vader pops, so I don't think we're gonna get Vader. I would be surprised,
I don't want a Vader.
but you never know.
I don't need I mean, I just picked up a new Vader, like 2 new Vaders. I picked up the retro series,
Right.
glow in the dark, and I picked up the Target Con where he's on the rising from the table. Love that. That's a
Nice.
great pop. But I don't know what more you're going to be able to do for Vader to kind of bring it to Rogue One, unless you're doing some kind of movie moment. Maybe you have him built with the hallway somehow. Is it a 2-pack and he's interacting with a rebel trooper? You've never made one of those. Love to see that. Or are you going with him and Krennic in a movie scene where he's choking him and Krennic's down on his knees? That would be cool. But other than that, I don't see, unless you're doing those, you really don't got a Vader. I don't think in that.
I don't think so either. So.
And I really don't need to see him, more the mention of him. Or maybe we see like guys in the Rebel Alliance who just came back and they're horrified and they're telling tales about him. That, you know what I mean? That would kind of build up that scene that you get. And I think that would do more to build up the scene of Vader at the end of Rogue One than actually having any cameo of Vader in season 2.
Right.
If they're talking, maybe a bunch of guys are talking around one of the X-Wings or something like that. And they're kind of like, dude, we ran this guy. I couldn't wait to hightail out of that. He was mean. Like, whew, he was death. Like, that would be awesome. I don't know if we'll get that, but that would be awesome. To lead you to that killer scene, because that was a killer scene.
Yeah.
But I think when you get after that, right, for normal Andor from season 1, we only got 3. So I'll start with B2 Emo.
Yep.
Now that was, and I think every one of these was an exclusive, because this one was.
Yeah, it was too.
This was a New York Comic Con exclusive, the fall shared exclusive, right?
Yeah.
And the reason I have him obviously out of box is because I've had him on display behind me as of recent. The other one I haven't taken her out in a while is the 2022 Winter Convention. I don't think that's New York, but I don't think it was.
No, that's Brazil. I think the winter one's Brazil. Yeah.
Okay. And they did Velsartha, which I think that's a great one. That's a really underrated pop. A lot of great detail in her. The hair and the braiding. It's phenomenal. This is a really tight one. I can honestly say I think that's better than this one, the Andor, Cassian Andor from season 1. And this was the San Diego Comic-Con shared exclusive.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty plain. And at the time, like, there were other scenes that they could have pulled from, but now they did release the prison outfit one.
Yes. So that excellent segue, my friend, because that exactly leads us into seeing some of our newest pops. So, and I've picked most of these up between Box Lunch and the Toy Vault here in Rhode Island. Those are my 2 go-tos. That I basically call it the Funko Run, because I can go to Toy Vault, Box Lunch, FYE, Target. bang, just in one foul swoop, you know.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm.
but I did pick up, I think, 3 of these from Toy Vault and 1 from Box Lunch. This one, Luthen, Rail.
Yeah,
Again, this one, is it a good looking pop? Looks great. You got a lot of detail in the coat and the undergarments,
yeah,
stitching in the hood. Awesome. But you really don't know who the character is because there's nothing
yeah,
it's not like a stormtrooper or a Vader or something iconic as a
yeah.
silhouette stands out,
Exactly,
you know.
exactly.
But it
Yeah,
is a great looking rendition of the character, you know. I mean, I love hoods on these guys, but I almost would have liked to seen him where maybe he didn't have that and he was doing giving the speech about sacrifice. I think might have been a little bit better. But again, does he kind of get lost where if you didn't know the character, you wouldn't know what he was? Kind of like Dryden Voss from
yes.
Solo. Like he just kind of, you kind of get that only because of
I
the
mean,
remote.
I think Dryden, you can tell it's Dryden more than this one here, but
Yeah. All right. Now you mentioned this guy a moment ago, Cassian Andor. This is the one I know I've got a box.
yeah,
But this guy, the one way out in the prison outfit, phenomenal. Love
yeah,
that. Love that.
such a great one.
Yeah, and the hair sculpt really nice, really nice. You've got his blaster, and it looks just like the one. And I recently rewatched all of Andor again. Just finished
Right.
watching the other night. And it was great to kind of see those moments again and kind of see maybe build up parts that you didn't quite. The Cyril stuff, I'm still after watching it. I've watched the season just recently, and I've watched it many times already over again.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just don't
Still
see.
not a fan, eh?
I'm not a fan. Like I see him going to the Imperial, but it's almost like they don't want him. So I don't know what his struggle is because are they kind of like looking at it like back in George Washington era? Here in the States, you had the story Turn was like based on the book Washington Spies. Is he more like a Tory, like a British loyalist supporter?
Right.
Like he supports the Imperial and Empire. I don't know, but like I just as much as I try to watch it again, I'm not invested in him. Like literally, this next character had less time on the screen than that guy and made such a huge impact. Bam,
Yeah. Yep.
Kino Loy. Now,
Yes.
Andy Serkis, come on. I mean, he's masterful, right? Masterful performances. So, for him to get on the loudspeaker and basically explain the situation at the prison, this is it, guys. We're never getting out of here. If we
Yeah.
ever think we're getting out, they're just putting us in another one. So brutal reality that he came to. But the pop, they did a fantastic. And what I really
Oh yeah.
like about
They
him,
did a fantastic job on the pop.
I'm surprised they didn't do a 2-pack because when you see these guys side by side, they're like the Boondock Saints of Star Wars, man. They just look awesome.
Yeah, I mean they could have done a 2-pack, but I mean either way, they know people are going to buy the two of them anyways.
Yeah.
So.
They're great pops, great scene. I mean, that was one of those big hype builds that they had.
Yeah.
And this next one is my favorite of these. And I said it on the Popcast. If you're gonna do this character, there's only one way you could do it. But I was like, I don't know if
Yeah.
if Funko would venture to do this, right? I just figured we'd get like Admiral Holdo or something like that, like just a lame just figure. But when I saw this release, blew my mind, super stoked. It was like my dream come true. They did Marva justice by
They
doing
sure
her
did.
as
They
a
sure did.
holo.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the big iconic memory scene for this character. And it was I mean, it was what's crazy about that when I rewatched it is in her death, she became more powerful than when she was alive. Very much like Obi-Wan said, you
Yeah.
strike me down, I'll become more. Her dying made her more powerful. She basically ignited that first spark of the revolution, one of the big first sparks of the revolution.
Yeah.
People standing up, not just And I'm not saying it's the first thing because obviously they pulled off Aldani heist and stuff, but those things started behind the scenes. This is like the people uprising. And I think her speech about, sleeping and the empire is here and they're not leaving, that was just phenomenal. And those are the scenes I think that really made that series such a higher risk because like a lot of people didn't like that slow build, but it was really looking into all these little nooks and crannies of the common folk, not the Jedi and not the Emperor, not Vader. It's all these side characters that make all what we saw the Star Wars happen. And it's kind of neat seeing the pieces come together and knowing there's pieces from Rebels, that are coming.
Yeah.
Like from what we saw in the trailer and that behind the scenes, it looks to me, you tell me, I think we might actually get Mon Mothma's big speech.
We might. I mean,
I don't know if
tough to
we
say.
hear her talking in the Senate or she making that speech that we heard in Rebels. I couldn't quite tell, but I think that massacre is going to
the
happen.
Garmin
We're gonna
massacre.
witness it.
Yeah, I think Tony Gilroy confirmed it too.
Oh, did he?
I think so.
All right. So it's on like Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
that's gonna, and that's something I thought was kind of grittier about this, unlike the other Star. Like when I saw a kid making an IED and throwing it, like to me that was like whoa, like that. It was a lot darker, deeper. It was different, a lot different. And I think, unfortunately, if you were put off by a lot of that slow buildup and world building and really tension building, because I think you need to understand and feel that, whether you're in the audience watching it and you're perplexed that like it's not progressing. No, it's a slope. This is how slow the Empire has drained these people of their lives and their freedoms. And you are maybe watching it because you're watching that slow build, but maybe you're getting frustrated, and it's kind of that timing is doing it. Because when it popped off in Andor, like there's 2 or 3, like you had the Eye, you had Rick's Road at the end there, and One Way Out. Those 3 just boom, boom, boom. They hit hard, and I think that build up to it led to that excitement and what made those successful. But what pops do you think we might get if we get any season 2 pops? What are you thinking? What do you think?
I think this might be the time that we actually get a Mon Mothma pop. I think we get a Mon Mothma pop. I hope we get a Cyril Karn. I hope we get a Cyril Karn and a Dedra Miro.
I'd like to get a Dedra, and if they make a Cyril, it'll be the last one I pick up out of that entire wave. Because
Really?
Yes. I mean, what's funny? He looked cool when we saw the trailer with the orange and the blue. Like, oh, what's that? What's going on there? And then they had the little ships, like that kind of reminded you of miniature little, the Clone Republic ships.
I think we may get a K2SO because like K2SO is coming back now, so I think we might get an updated K2SO.
Nice. Now, do you think? I'm curious. I'm wondering if we're going to see B2 Emo get injected into K2SO.
I don't think that's the case.
No?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think that's the case because, like, I mean, it could be. He's reprogramming a droid, but so he could like take B2 EMO's personality in there, but I don't know. I don't think it is.
Because obviously, when we get to Andor, we don't see B2 Emo.
No. So I think it's more than likely that he just ends up dying with some of the other characters.
Something happens. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. But I didn't know if they're going to do what they did with that. Was it L7? What was the droid from?
L337. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know if they do something like that we saw Lando and them do, where they just took her and put her into the Falcon.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. But again, like I could be wrong. We'll just have to wait and see, right? So
yeah, it's because it's just interesting. Like things that I always thought was the way even Alan Tudyk moved as him, especially when you're going through the base. he's kind of lumbered over a little more, and the other one, and he's kind of got a little swagger to his walk, where the other ones are very, stiff and straight.
Yeah.
There's a different meter to his walk than the others, as he was kind of cruising with them. So I'm excited we're going to get Alan Tudyk. So yeah, I think we could get another one. Hopefully, make him a lights and sound. Make his eyes light up. That'd be awesome.
Right.
Make him have some.
I know you love the lights and sounds there, so but I don't know.
I'm a huge.
It would be cool. Yeah,
that would be neat. That would be one that would be cool. Press his head, have a couple different like sayings, Like I would have loved to have him say, and there's a fresh one if you mouth off again. Like I'd love to have that.
Yeah, there were some lines from Rogue One that would have worked great for a lights and sounds pop.
Yes.
So.
Like I do too. Cassian told me I had to. Things like that. Like that they'd be great. They'd be great to have that. I think we definitely need the Mon Mothma. 100%.
I think so. 100%. Yeah, I think so.
Even that book that kind of released this week, it's kind of like leading into the Andor era, where it's more the Galactic Empire and the Senate we're kind of learning about, and it's going to be very Mon Mothma and Bail Organa centric. That book apparently. I saw a little synopsis on that. Do you think we will finally get justice for Bail and get a Bail Organa?
I hope we get a Bail Organa. That's another one I think it's possible that we could get. So
I'd like to see that too. I mean, he's such a big character, and we didn't get anything from him in the Obi-Wan or anything prior to that. So justice for Bail. I'd like to see him get one as well as Mon Mothma. What other characters do you think are possible?
I mean, it's tough because, like, I think we covered all the bases with the characters that we know we're getting so far.
Do you think we get Tarkin?
I don't know.
Because in Funko, we only got one, which was that Smuggler's Band exclusive. I have them.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to say yes.
I would love to get a Tarkin.
I don't know. I think we're probably going to get another Cassian Andor for sure, just because like it's the Andor series, right? So I think we're going to be getting that.
Maybe like that updated brown coat walk on the blaster that we saw.
Maybe
that was pretty cool.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious. I'm hoping that we'd have something announced, but nothing.
Yeah.
I'm hearing leaks of other pops over like and thinking Andor season 2 is coming April. We're not hearing any rumblings or anything.
Yeah.
Like I think I probably already had my skeleton crew right a week before it even released. I already had them all. So
yeah,
kind of curious. Do you think we should play the trailer?
I mean, yeah. I'm all for watching the trailer. I would say like we don't want a chance getting demonetized, but I think it's been out for a while, and if we'll give it a watch now, I think we're long enough into the live stream where it shouldn't catch it. So let's do it.
All right,
let's give it a watch.
Let me do present.
We're in a war. You want to fight? Or you want to win?
Oh, a Bix. We got to get a Bix, too.
That's true. We haven't seen a Bix at all.
Do you think we get another Saw Gerrera? Because like he's pretty much the same. I don't think we're gonna get another Saw.
I don't want a Saw. I would like a Tutu.
Yeah, maybe another Luthen. We might get another Luthen.
Possibly.
What a swell party this is.
Look at that gritty. There's a dude dead right on the ground.
Yeah.
Like, this is really crazy. These guys look interesting.
Yeah.
Moochie.
Remember this moment. You're here, you're right here, and you're ready to fight.
That's just awesome.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
That's just awesome. I am super, super excited to see that, man. Can't wait. Can't wait. So I don't think we have much more to go over. I mean, we've kind of gone through all the Rogue One, all the original Andors that were all exclusive, plus the newer Andor Pops from season 1 that have recently released. But yeah, I don't think there's much more we could cover tonight, my friend. And I
don't think so.
Thank you for joining me. Like I said, I'm getting excited for this new series. I'm trying to build the hype up for myself and other fans. So I'm very excited to start dropping images this week, man. Very, very excited.
Well, that's exciting. So you're starting this week and you're dropping an image a week leading up to Andor. So
yeah, I think it's going to be something worth checking out. You know, I've been working on different pieces for it to kind of like, image dropping it, tomorrow. And everything's going to kind of have this kind of Andor theme that we're seeing here with that kind of brown and the Andor logo. So kind of excited to finally see this, all these images coming, because that's something I've been working on a lot lately, is with my collab and stuff, getting a lot more images out. You might have seen a few different images also for Funko Face Off. Been able to shoot a lot more, and I think if I have followers and fans that miss seeing a lot of the behind the scenes in the photo shoot, I will do those. But what I found, and I shared this with Christopher and some of my colleagues, is that for me, when you're being in the creative mode, sometimes stopping to film every piece of it takes you out of it. And also, I feel if I didn't get to shoot it, because sometimes I might shoot late after work or after I get home from a Sonic meeting or something like that. So when I finally am shooting, it's later, and I might not get all the pieces of it. I might get the image done and the retouch and all, but I didn't get all the pieces for the videos. And I got to put the set up for a day or two. And then if I don't get back to it, that could be a week, and so that builds on my anxiety of not being able to be creative, because I just want to do it in the moment, like when I'm feeling it and I got the vibe and I got an idea in my head and I just want to see and tinker. So I find, again, being true to myself and true to what I wanted to do on the channel, for starting in the first, I didn't do it for subscribers and followers or any of that.
Right.
I did it just to share what I wanted to do with other people. If they liked it, they liked it. They didn't, they didn't. But I was doing it for myself, and I needed to get back to the brass tacks of that. Like, what did I come here to do? I came here to be creative, and I came to get my juices flowing and get my head thinking and challenge myself. Like, I didn't bring out my DSLRs, and fancy cameras and strobes. I was just doing Loom Cubes and my iPhone, and I've kind of built a style around that, and I've kind of gotten used to that. Really, I've enjoyed it. But now it's like some of these images you'll see, there was a challenge in shooting one of these, and I had more than one in the image. Right? I don't ever really do that. I kind of concentrate more of a portrait. This one, I felt if I did it kind of in that portrait, it just didn't quite sell. You needed to sell the scene. And I think the scene told the story, which the pop encapsulated 100%. So that's why I did that one different more than all the others. But very excited for this series to come out. Use totally different techniques for backdrops. There's one where there's like a cave, and I was going to do a whole series, and I kind of scrapped the idea again, just kind of being creative. And in the moment, I scrapped the idea and just went with two different things. But I was going to do a What's in the Box, the photo shoot series. And I was going to challenge myself and I might still kind of do it, but I have a box, and I was challenging myself to shoot the image within the box. And the first thing I did that I already kind of did was I did the Rancor image. I think I shared it with you. I don't think I've actually post. I don't think I've even posted the Rancor. I can't remember. I think I put it on the Funko Face Off, but I did a new image of the Rancor, and I figured like he's a big pop, but then when he's just kind of out by himself, he doesn't. He has to. You have to almost give it something to give it grandeur, right? So you kind of have to give it perspective, and I had to force the perspective. So I found a box that I thought would be a perfect shape to do a bunch of different shots in, and reuse it. So I used it for the Rancor and made the cave that the Rancor is in is made out of that. All right. And all I did is take a brown bag from the grocery market, crushed it up a couple times, gave it creases and bends and everything. And the way you light it, it kind of looks like rock. So it worked very well for that. Reused it
very simple too.
Yeah, and I reused it here for the Andor series. I use that same trick when I shoot the image for Saw Gerrera. I was hearkening to the image we saw in the trailer.
Yeah,
we can see he's in that kind of cave, and there's the doorway or something behind him. So I took my door threshold and door from one of my extreme sets, put that in the back of the box that I already had kind of for the cave that I had used for the Rancor, but then kind of built it out and pushed some of the paper out and made it kind of more contoured. So I actually built depth to it because there's rock face kind of in the foreground that's actually part of that bag coming out of the box. And I was able to kind of shape it and have Saul in that. So that's going to be a cool one. I'm looking
forward to seeing the images.
Yeah, it was just fun, breaking it up between that and then, how I usually do my virtual volume. Well, there were some where I actually grabbed screenshots, then went in and used AI in Photoshop to remove the characters out, rework that image to create the background. And another, we actually used an extreme set. So just different techniques. And it was just a lot of fun. I think I used 2 different extreme sets that I had purchased. So just having a lot of fun experimenting, shooting, and I think I yielded some good images, and I hope you guys all enjoy them when they drop. So again, thanks for coming on, Christopher. It's been a bit. I know we are retooling the Star Wars Popcast for our fans out there. And I know Lex wasn't going to be able to go on tonight. Otherwise, we probably would have made a podcast episode of some sort. But do you want to? Should we tell fans kind of we got things in the works? You want to give a little spoiler at all?
I mean, I got some more toy hunt videos coming out. I've been trying to do more toy hunts and some reviews. I've got a review dropping Friday of a Star Wars collectible that's probably the simplest Star Wars collectible you've ever seen, but it's still like very detailed, very, very similar to like the Vinylmation or even the Star Wars Mighty Beans. So,
okay,
yeah. So you guys will have to stay tuned for that one.
Very cool. I'm wondering what it is. I'm kind of like,
yeah. Maybe I'll show you after we're off air here, but everyone else will have to wait.
I've seen something that I think I don't even want to tell you what I saw because I'm afraid you'd end up getting sucked in and collect them all. Dude, they because it fits exactly what you're saying. It could be this carbonite.
You'll just have to wait and see.
Well, if you haven't seen them, take a look at those things because I saw that. I was like, oh, don't show these to Christopher. Do not. I saw your last video and I was surprised you passed on some of those the Hot Wheels, the Star Wars ones. There's like a Chewbacca four-wheeler that you had, and there's what's the other one? The other one was pretty cool too. I can't remember. Was it Cad? No, it wasn't Cad Bane.
Oh, the small figure then, eh?
No, it was the 2 vehicles. There's the Chewbacca with the 4-wheeler, and there's another one you picked up. And I was like, oh, I'm surprised you didn't get that.
Yeah. Yeah, I was tempted, but I was like, you know what? Not right now. I don't need it. So
I am getting more and more excited to finally we're going to be able to do something live together in person when we get to the Niagara Falls Con. That's going to be cool.
in a couple months here. Yeah.
Getting very, very excited for that.
Yeah.
All birthday funds or any wishes that were asked, like, what do you want? I was like, nothing. I just want to go to this con. Just want to go to the con. It's a
have to set up a GoFundMe for your birthday, right?
Exactly.
Or, I mean, your birthday passed, but
yeah, send me cash. Maybe if you see if someone pops up on their site that someone is Star Wars character that is doing a photo op or an auto, like you said, kick me some cash. That'll help. That'll be nice.
Yeah.
So that's what I was telling all my family. That's really all I wanted to do. And I'd love still to be able to go to ICCC, but I just can't. I can't swing both. Within that 2-week span. And the one is getting off from work and stuff like that, because obviously there's some travel. It's not just you're there for the weekend, but you got to travel a little bit too. So I don't know. I'd love to be able to do. I'd love to fly into Nashville, get there, meet all of our friends, and see all these wonderful special guests that they're gonna have. I really, and I have a room booked. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to cancel it, but it is the way it is. You can only be in so many places.
Maybe one year.
I still want to get you down here for Rhode Island Comic Con. You definitely got to get your butt down here, man.
1 year. Well, we'll have to wait and see, because like with all the tariffs now and the the tariffs on top of already the shitty exchange rate, like it's gonna be tough. But like we'll see. Like because the Star Wars Celebration, hopefully it's stateside. So if that happens,
you know what?
To do that.
Get a one-way ticket here. I'll call you in the ice. They'll deport you. You'll get a free flight home.
or they'll just keep me there.
They'll detain you.
Yeah, I've seen what happens when people get sent. They get captured by ICE. I've seen that.
Yeah,
I've seen
it's
stuff.
It's not good. It's not good.
No,
it's not good. You don't want to do that.
No.
I think too. Like if say you did come over here, I think that would be fine. I just think there is probably a little more in present, like about how long you have a visa and you can only be there for so long. Like once your visa expires, you need to get to stepping, because nowadays who knows what would happen to you. You could get detained. I know when I was in Mexico and I was there an extra day, they didn't really say too much about it, but I did look it up. Like if you're there past a certain, I don't know what they say is a certain time past your visa that you're supposed to be there for, they can revoke you ever coming back to the country later in life. That's the raw deal. Some people get busted for that crap and don't realize it.
Right.
Especially when kids and vice versa. Kids can get in a lot of trouble down in spring break going to Mexico. Like I drove from Tucson, Arizona to Rocky Point, Mexico, back in my days in the 300ZX. And let me tell you, that was the craziest thing I've ever probably done in my life. Driving in another country with your car like that. Like, dude, I couldn't even believe I got the insurance to swing that. Like I had to get special insurance. I wouldn't do that now. Now I'm older and wiser, and I'd been there during spring break with your car. I was like, yeah, I wouldn't do that again. Never.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Yeah, just trying to get out of that. Like I just want to get out of that. And I felt like trying to evade all the local Yoko police. It was like, I am not going to make it back over the border with a one American dollar in my pocket. Like I was you get bled dry. It's brutal. It's brutal. But anyway, my friend, always a pleasure to have you on. Can you tell people where they can find you when you're not hanging out here on one of my very few live streams?
Yeah. So you can find me at Seriously Star Wars on YouTube, and then Seriously SW on Instagram and Twitter, although I don't really post on Twitter that much. But Instagram, you can find me posting there regularly. And
Awesome.
Subscribe.
Awesome. Definitely, if you haven't, you need to Christopher is one of those guys that he's kind of like the guy that's kind of prompted me to be on YouTube. He had me as a guest, and look at me now.
Look at you now, right?
Look at me now. But it's great to have you on, because I missed having the podcast on, so I can't wait to the rebrand and the retooling of that. And I know everyone's schedules has been crazy. Miss seeing Lex, miss you, Lex, and hope to see you soon. And we still need to open our Christmas gifts, so we got to hit on that soon. But anyway,
Right.
I'm glad that you guys all enjoyed today, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode and live stream. Again, Christopher, thanks for coming. And until then, folks, may the force be with you.